There's a saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And what that means is if you spend a lot of time away from someone you love or really care about, when you reunite with them, your love or affection for them will be much stronger than it was before. And I think the same thing can apply to other things in life. And for me, it's going to be this video game here, which is Grounded. When I played Grounded during early access, I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it up through the 1.0 release. But after having put over 1,000 hours into it, actually I think about 1,500 hours, I just got burned out on the game and decided I just didn't want to play it anymore. But it's been more than a year since the last time I played it, and I decided now would be a good time to jump back into it because so much has changed since the last time I played it, both for the game and also for me. For me, I have upgraded my PC, so I have a newer PC, so now I'm able to play the game at 2K resolution and at uncapped FPS. So before, when I was playing the game, I was capping the game at 60 FPS and it was at 1080p. Now it should look a little bit better for you when in the recording, especially if you're watching on a 2K or 4K television, as I've been able to, like I said, record at 2K and uncapped FPS. So for me, it looks a lot better. The game's been running much smoother. I haven't run into any bugs. This is, I believe, the 12th day on this save that I started fresh with, like just this today. And I've been able to not experience any bugs, any performance issues. Everything's been running just absolutely perfectly. So the game feels like it's in a really good state. So the other reason I wanted to check the game out now is because so much has changed since the last time I played it. The last time I played it was December 2023, and when I played it then, I was doing a 100 days video where I played the entire 100 days without repairing Burgle. And what that meant was that I was not able to actually see any of the new stuff that was added to Survival for the Make It or Break It update. I did play the Playground mode in Make It or Break It back when it came out, but I did not really play any of Survival, so I didn't get to see any of the changes for that. But being able to play it now, I'm going to be able to see all the changes for that update as well as the Fully Yoked update, which came a little bit later on. So what has changed since that update that has just kind of drastically changed the game and made it, in my opinion, to be in the best state possible? Before I discuss that, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. It does help the video and it really helps my channel out. So the main thing that has changed since one of the big things that's changed, in my opinion, is going to be the introduction to the game for new players. So before, there were some tutorial quests which you would play through and it would kind of guide you along, but I felt like the game could use like a little bit more guidance at the beginning. Not like perfect hand-holding, but just a little bit more guidance. So what they've done is they've added new apprentice quests to the terminal here. So after having repaired Burgle, you'll have access to be able to go into the Burgle quest, and you're going to have 100 apprentice quests here, which range from basic stuff like crafting a shovel all the way down to, I have no idea what these other ones are. This is kill something. It's probably either, for 5,000 raw science, it's probably either a Black Widow or it's some type of like boss or something like that. So I have no idea what that's going to be. So you'll be able to have 3 of those at a time. And then once you do 20 of them, you'll be able to unlock getting the daily quest that you're probably used to if you played the game before. If not, the way it used to work was you would get just 3 daily quests. You could do them and then refresh them each day. So now you have the ability to just do these as many as you can in a day. I've done 5, 6, 7, 8 in a day before. Plus, I also have this one now. So I've been able to accrue a ton of raw science, which I can spend over here. I just need to turn in some of the chips. And the other thing is, I don't know when this exactly changed. I don't remember this being the case, but you can actually access the Science Shop, the Burgle Quest, and the Milk Molar upgrades from any field station in the world. So that's an awesome change. That means you don't have to go over to Burgle all the time, which was a little bit time consuming. And then really the only reason to go over to Burgle now is to turn in the Burgle chips, which obviously will be needed. In addition to the apprentice quests, they've added some new things, like some new trinkets for the early game. So I ended up crafting each one of these, but I just wanted to show them real quick. Thought these were pretty cool as well. There's the Nifty Needle. This is going to give you extra damage with your bow. So if you like playing as a ranged build, you'll get extra damage with your bow. Sturdy Shield. This is going to give you friendly fire defense up. So I guess this helps you if you're, I don't know if this is for multiplayer or maybe it just helped, I don't know. But major threat means that you're going to attract enemies to yourself. So this is going to be useful in co-op. That means the enemies are going to be more attracted to you. So you're kind of like the tank if you're used to playing maybe like MMOs or RPGs where there's a healer, tank, and DPS. In this case, it's going to be a ranged tank and then DPS. So this will be helpful for that. And then the one I have equipped right now is going to be the Astonishing Acid. This gives finale damage, which means it's going to give extra damage to the 3rd hit from your attack. Another change they made, which goes along with that, is going to be the way the combos work. I'm going to go over here and see if I can find some more lawn mites because I do have the daily quest. I need to kill 2 more of them. to get that complete before I think I can turn it in and get another one. So the way attacks work with most weapons, I believe daggers might be the only one that's different in terms of melee weapons. You do 1, 2, and then 3 hits. And the way it worked originally was I think all the hits did the exact same amount. And then at some point they changed it so that the first hit would do 50%, the second hit would do 100%, the third hit would do 150% of the base damage. So if this thing was going to do 5 damage, it would do 2.5, then 5, and then 7.5. Now it does 100% for the first 2 hits and 125% for the third hit, meaning that in total you're going to do a little bit more damage, but you're not going to be punished if you don't land that third attack. The reason that's big is because a lot of the faster attacking enemies, and also if you're using a slower attacking weapon, you're not going to be able to land a 3-hit combo on some of those enemies. So this will not punish you, meaning you'll be able to kill enemies faster, which will use less durability on your weapons, and in general just make combat feel much better. So I got the raw science there. I'm going to head back over and see if I can actually get another quest. So that's a huge change. I think that's awesome. It was a gripe that I think a lot of people had, especially if you know about it. You might not have known about it because not everybody's like down in the weeds in terms of stats, but if you had played it during early access and then played it up through 1.0, you probably noticed a huge difference. So that is definitely making combat a lot better. In addition to that, they've made some changes to the way some items work in the game. So example being the dandelion tufts. They used to be equipped in the trinket slot. You would only be able to have one equipped at a time. It would have durability. And what would happen is when it broke, and then you had to equip another one. So if it broke while you were mid-jump, you're in trouble. Or if you're up high and you fall and it had already broken, you're out of luck. Now instead, you can carry them in stacks of 10. They're one-time use only, but they drop so frequently that you really should just never have trouble having a bunch of them. In fact, I have a bunch of them in my house right now, and I've not run, like every dandelion you cut down, I think drops like 5 or 6 of them. So you're going to cut down dandelions early game to get weed stems anyway. So that's definitely huge for that. Let's see if I can get this extra quest, and I can. So I can load the new quest here. Well, it gave me kill wall mites again. So the way the daily quests work is this is going to progress in difficulty as I unlock more of these. So I'm guessing like once I do a couple more of these, it'll advance to killing some tougher enemies that are aggressive enemies. I've already had to kill 3 soldier ants as one of the apprentice quests. So that's a huge change for the dandelions. Another good quality of life change is going to be the way the milk molars work. So I've only completed on this save that I started, I think I'm on day 11 or 12. I completed the hedge lab, and I completed just the hedge lab. I didn't collect everything on the ground yet. I have to go back over there and do that. And then I finished the red ant hill, with the exception of the red ant hill somewhere over here. Maybe it's, yeah, it's right over here. Oh, it actually even shows the scabs on the map you've collected. It shows the milk molars and the scabs. That's pretty cool because you need those to complete the 100% report card. So I did complete the red ant hill as well, but I didn't get the milk molars over there because I have to make the tier 2 hammer to be able to do that. So I do have to go back there as well as the hedge, but that is a cool addition to the map. In addition to that, they did revamp the way the hedge is laid out. So the hedge, one of the issue, like I didn't have this issue because I'd played the game since very early on, but I actually did witness somebody try the game during early access. And the way it would work was it would show you that the chip was over here. And I saw this person just go over here and they just tried to get up here and they literally could not figure out how to do it. And they were super frustrated. Now I believe it does put the waypoint over here, but they've changed it so that the hedge ascent, instead of being a green paperclip that kind of blends into the terrain, it's now it's hedge clippers that are brightly, I think it's bright yellow colored. So you literally cannot miss them. And it's much easier to get up there. They have raw science that kind of guide you along the way. That's always been there, but they've also revamped the hedge in terms of how there's not a bunch of spiderlings running around up on the hedge branches, which becomes just a pain in the butt to deal with because especially if you're trying to like parry them or even trying to attack them, they would always get like stuck or be down like in the little grooves and it'd be very hard to hit them or block them. So not having them out there other than if you break the web sacks. If you break the web sacks, there will still be the spiderlings out there. I cleared the entire hedge lab, did not break any of the web sacks outside, and I came back with stacks of web fiber, and I just broke all the web sacks that were inside. I will probably go back at some point and break the ones that are outside as well, just to get the extra resources, but I didn't find any need to do that. So now the spiderlings are all inside of the buildings or the little parts of the hedge lab, so they're much easier to deal with, which is definitely a good change. And then another one's going to be that I haven't experienced this yet, although I'm kind of waiting for it. I've killed a lot of red ants, honestly, to make the red ant armor, as well as I had to kill 3 of the soldier ants to be able to complete one of the apprentice quests. So there's faction reactivity. That means if you kill too many of one enemy, then they'll end up attacking you. And they've changed it so that the rewards for that are going to be much better. So you get raw science for those. The more enemies you kill and the tougher they are, the more raw science you're going to get. They've also made waft emitters, which were something that I basically never used because there was really no reason to use them. They've added, you get a bunch of raw science for those too. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Some other things that have changed are going to be the ant queens. So I always thought that they would add ant queens to the game. It kind of made sense that they added ant queens. And I guess I should go over here and just kill some more lawn mites while I'm talking. So let's do some productive stuff here. I always thought they would add ant queens as bosses, but they didn't do that. They just added them into the game, and you can interact with them. So there's one in each of the anthills. That's 3 in total. And the way they work is you can interact with them either by befriending them, betraying them, and then there's one other option. I haven't interacted with any of them yet. I did find the one that was inside of the red anthill, but I did not end up being able to get inside of it because I guess I can't get into there yet. I don't know. There's something that at some point I'll be able to interact with it and see those. So I definitely look forward to doing that. So that was a cool change. They also addressed one of the big issues that I thought the game kind of had from a perspective of how long are people going to play this game, and that was going to be the replayability. So now with the NG Plus, they've added the ability to, you can go to NG Plus, and I don't know if there's a limit on it. I swear I saw somebody make a video that said they did NG Plus 1,000, which I don't know if that's actually true, but you can play NG Plus to your heart's content, essentially. And what that means is once you complete certain objectives, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but once you basically beat the game and you have to kill some of the 3 of the optional bosses, you'll be able to access the remixer, which lets you enter NG Plus. What that does is it puts you into a new save. All of your builds get carried over and all of your resources and like all of your progress. But what ends up happening is it will reset the map and you have to do all the labs again. So you can redo all the bosses again. And there are going to be new milk molars scattered around the map. Some of the enemies will be infused, which means they'll be like kind of glowing, like they look like they're made out of raw science, or they have raw science inside of them. They're going to be tougher to kill, but they're also going to drop new resources, which are needed to upgrade your gear, because you also can upgrade your gear beyond level 9, which was the max before they added NG Plus. So that's awesome. That gives you an opportunity you can just keep playing, keep leveling up, and it'll just keep getting tougher and tougher. But you got to make sure you're leveling up your gear along the way. Otherwise, it'll probably get to a point where you actually, I don't know, there might be a point where if you don't level up your gear enough, you probably will have trouble beating things. Although I know there's some people in this game that are just absolutely gods at the game that can block every attack. So maybe they can handle it without doing maximum upgrades, but that's definitely a cool change. They also added a ton of new building pieces in both the 1.3 update and the 1.4 update. That's the Make It or Break It, as well as the Fully Yoked update. Those were the last 2 updates. So tons of new building pieces. They added some new items, some new equipment. They added some new trinkets in addition to the ones I just mentioned. In NG Plus, the enemies can, I think you can find badges, and the Ominent badges will have randomized perks on them. So they're going to be different than the regular perks. And then there's also going to be, and then there's also new mutations, as well as a couple of new achievements. So the game is just, in my opinion, it's in the best state that it's ever been in, honestly. And I have 1,500 hours in this game, maybe more, 1,600 possibly at this point. I've played through the game so many times, but just playing it, seeing all the changes that have happened since the last time I played it, in addition to the way, like just playing it for the last couple of days and the 12 or so days I've played in this world and how smooth it's been running and everything and how much better it looks in on my setup right now, I think the game's in the best state it's ever been in, and I can't recommend it more. So if you've never played it, and this is actually pretty cool, every time I do this, okay, now it gave me water fleas, which is pretty cool. So I can just keep farming raw science here, which is awesome. That's cool. So, and then like, aside from that, having played so many other games in the interim, like in the last a little over a year, I played a bunch of survival games, played a bunch of other games. This game has so many quality of life things that I kind of just took for granted that I feel like every game really needs to have. The one that I've not really seen, I can't even think of any other games that have this. I can just press one button right now and it hot deposits everything into the chest that I already have in the chest. So if I got some lawn mite fuzz, it automatically deposited them. And you can actually toggle this on and off, because one thing I don't want deposited is I obviously don't want to have my dandelion tufts deposited. So I have them in this little table over here, and I have this nearby hot deposit unchecked. That means when I walk in and do the hot deposit, it will not deposit these, and therefore I won't jump off of something and not have one, which is awesome. They also have craft from storage. So a lot of games have this, and then it's like you have to unlock it at some point during the game. You have craft from storage immediately. So anything you can see here, like anything that I can actually craft right now, you'll see all the parts. Anything that's in my chest that's within a certain radius, as long as you don't have like a mega build where your stuff's spread out super far, like in this nice little house that I built here, my little starter house, you can see everything that's in my chest that are just over to the side there are accessible, so I can craft from them. Also, if you're like in your inventory and want to just craft some of the basic stuff that you can craft from your inventory, the same thing applies. If you're building, you can place down the blueprints. This is another thing like I really feel like every game should have. So like, let's say I want to build a wall. I just put the little blueprint down here. You can lay out your entire base before you put it down. And then when you come up, you can actually just like, I'm building these from the pallets. So I don't even have to have them in my inventory. I have the grass pallets over here. I have the weed stem pallet over here, and I can just build it without even having them in my inventory, which is awesome. Being able to put stuff on pallets and then moving the pallet, so you can literally just carry the pallet across the map with you, fill it up, and bring it back. This, in addition to like, I have the red ant armor on right now, which gives me the ability to carry more stuff. So right now, I can carry, I think, like 14 things or something like that. Let's just take one of these off of here. So yeah, I can carry 14 items right now just by having that. But I also, because I've got my coziness level, which you'll see on the bottom right side there, my coziness level is at coziness level 2. That was something that was added, I think, in the 1.1 or 1.2 update. So I had experienced that, but I never really took advantage of it in the beginning of the game. So now that the coziness thing's in there, I actually unlocked a new mutation, which is called Hauling Hero. And if I equip that, that'll let me carry even more stuff. So if I'm going to do like some like big building time stuff here, go collect a bunch of resources, I have the access to be able to do that right at the beginning, which is just super awesome. So the game just has so many quality of life things. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? But in general, like this game has most quality of life stuff. There's very few things I can think of where it's like, it even has multiple hotbars. So the hotbars down the bottom, you can have 3 of them. The only little nitpick I have about that is I'm so used to playing games where when I scroll wheel, I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. This would not apply to you if you're on controller. I think on controller, if you press the bumpers, it probably does the same thing. I'm just so used to playing games where if I scroll the hot wheel, it'll let me toggle between like 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that. So, but that's just kind of like a minor little thing, not that big of a deal. And like I said, the game's just in the best state it's ever been in. So I plan on playing this game some more. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did the last time, which was playing the game nonstop for just months on end and then ending up just getting sick of it and never wanting to like open it up. So I do plan on playing it and playing through the entire game over the next couple of weeks, maybe months. I don't know how long it's going to take, while playing some other games. I plan on making some more videos on the game as well as making videos on some other games. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of those videos. Hitting the like button will really help this video out. And let me know in the comments down below, are you playing Grounded? Is there anything specific about the game you'd like to see me make content on? I do have an idea for a video that I'm going to make following up on this. And if there's any other games that you're interested in, let me know about those in the comments down below. Like I said, I've been playing some other games. I've been playing Icarus. I've been playing Orcs Must Die, Death Trap, as well as a couple other games in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to mix it up. I'm not going to play one game nonstop and then get sick of it. I'm just going to play a couple of games at a time. And this will be one I'm going to play for a while. So do look forward to more content for that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.